Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching this. This is my updated version of how to get started on Mailchimp in a post-GDPR world. I have always had a Mailchimp account and a training video on how to use this, but since the changes that have happened on the 25th of May 2018, I just thought it'd be a whole lot easier for everybody if I could create this and just help you how to get started and just show you exactly the right ways of getting set up on Mailchimp. So what you can see is my screen, and what you can see is my account. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you exactly how to get started. This is the screen that you will see once you have registered an account. And to register an account, you just need an email address, a password, and you need to verify it. Don't worry too much about connecting your social media accounts or anything like that. It's not needed at this stage, and it's just a nice feature. So why use Mailchimp? Well, first and foremost, it is different to any other form of emailing. In the past, people will have just gone into their Gmail or email provider and just sent out emails to your guests and put them in the BCC. Now that's not allowed anymore thanks to GDPR, so using something like Mailchimp, there are others out there like Aweber and MailerLite. You know, if you just Google CRM email software, you'll see there's tons of them. But I use Mailchimp because A, it's free, and it's free up until 2,000 subscribers. But even after you get to 2,000 subscribers, it's still a relatively small amount. I pay only $18 a month, and it is by far worth it. So this is how you start. Now, obviously, when you load up your screen, you won't see all of this. You'll have a blank area. So the stages where you are now is you need to create a list where people can get signed up to. So let's just create a dummy one. You've got all these options on the top: campaign, templates, list, report. And I'll show you exactly what each of these means. But in the meantime, let's get started from the very beginning. So click on Create List and click on the little box there saying Create List. Now we've got to give it a name. Now bear in mind that your subscribers will see this. So you can't call it anything mad like stupid people that sign up to my email list. Let's just start something simple and just call it Granary Guests. Really easy. Default from email address. This is where you put in your email account. Now bearing in mind, if you've never sent an email from Mailchimp before, it will ask you to verify that email. All right. So bearing in mind, if you've got you don't have a personalized email address, for example, info@granary.co.uk, if you just use, I don't know, granary@gmail.com or granary@yahoo.com. Mailchimp don't like these. There is a workaround, but just to be safe, just to be sure, if you can't verify your email address and you've got a website, so for example, if you've got info, www.granary.co.uk, go to your website provider, because every website should have an email hosting section part of it. If that's not the case and you don't have one of them, then let me know and I will send you an instructional video on how to get started on G Suite. It's really simple, it's really easy, you'll be able to get an email address. But if that's worst comes to worst, for most people you should be able to put in your email address here and it'll be verified. If you get stuck at that point, best stopping this and find out alternative methods. All right, default from email, default name. So put in a name that they will recognize. Like Mailchimp gives you hint and providers all the way through. So I would put Mark Simpson, or the Simpsons, or the Granary. Have a little reminder how they signed up to the list. So it could be you signed up to it, or it could be you stayed with us at the Granary and you wanted to opt into marketing emails. Whatever you want. Contact information. So this is where you make sure that your address is all in there. This is the important, really important bit. You've got form settings here. You don't have to have double opt-in for GDPR. What is double opt-in? So when you sign up to an email list, you then get an email saying, do you really want to do this? It's annoying. Most people just ignore it or don't see it. So you don't have to have that for GDPR. A lot of marketers say that you need this, and it's totally up to you whether you have it or not. I don't, but this is the one you all need to do. Enable GDPR fields, and I'll show what that means. This section here is when you'd like to get an email just to let you know when people are signing up to your list. If you want to know one by one, when people unsubscribe or subscribe, tick them. If you don't want to get loads and loads of emails, just tick summary. Once you've done that, that's the basics. It takes about a minute to do that. Next bit is you need to go and make sure that your list fields are correct. So let me just show you what that means. So when somebody goes onto your sign up form, all right, they will see any details that you've got in here. So what we need to very quickly do is to get rid of the fields that we don't want. Now, when you've got a sign up form for an email account, you want to keep it as easy as possible to get people on your database. So that is why I'm just going to keep email address and first name. Anything more than that, if people have to faff around with clicking more fields and whatnot, then it's just going to make life easier. So the only ones that I would have personally is email address and first name. If you want to go fancy and get town and city and date of birth for birthday cards, be my guest. But my advice to everybody is keep it simple. So that's sorting that section out. And again, take less than a minute to do. Required email footer content. All right. You can pretty much miss this out because I'll show you what that means later. Google Analytics. So if you have got Google Analytics set up, great. You can link it to here. If not, don't worry about it. It's just a nice little additional feature. But once you've done all of that, it's now time to create your sign up form. When you click on that, you've got all of these different 4 options. Ignore all of it apart from here, Form Builder. You're going to click Select. If I'm going too fast, you can stop, rewind, and come back to it. You know, it's really, really simple. So this is the form, right? Let me just quickly show you. This is the link. So you're going to save this link and save it somewhere safe, like in a notes or an email or somewhere like that. So this, when somebody clicks on it, this is what they're going to see. Now, at the moment, it looks pretty drab. So we're going to make it look a little bit funky. First thing I do is I change the background to all white, just because all white is all right. You can then change the name, so it could be something in here like sign up to our email list. And you can mess around with the fonts, you can mess around with the size, you can mess around with where it appears on your page. If you wanted to, in here, you can add in images. You can add in still images, or you can add in what's called GIFs. There's loads of cool things that you can do in here. It's totally up to you. Again, I like to keep things simple. So sign up to our email list. And if you wanted to, in here, you could just put the granary VIP guest list. Make it look a little bit exclusive. Give it a name. There we go. Email address, first name. Now, marketing permissions. This is where everything is changed with GDPR. All right. So if I click on this box, on the right-hand side, this comes up. So it's called marketing permissions, or how can we keep in touch? You know, you can change all of this. Again, if you just want to keep things simple, you can do. So it will have your business name in here. We'll use the information you provide on this form to be in touch with you and provide marketing updates. And this is the important section. Number 1, you'll notice that customized is spelled the American way. So if you want to change it, you can do. Now, email is obviously email. Direct mail is if you plan on sending out Christmas cards. 9 out of 10 times, everybody that I've worked with on this, we've unticked this box. So you've got to do that. Customized online advertising. Now, if you plan on using this email address to do Facebook marketing in the future, if anybody's part of my Boostly training site who's watching this right now, you will know that I actively encourage this. So I would recommend you have this feature in. Obviously, if they don't want to be targeted by email for future advertising campaign, they won't tick that box. And MailChimp will show you that as well. If you're never planning on using an email address to target someone on Facebook, then you can just untick that, and then email is the only way. So they got to physically opt into these now, and if they don't opt in, then they won't show. Simple as that. And I'll show you what I mean in a second. So again, I have a little bit here. For more information on our privacy policies, please visit our website. So then they know for your own individual privacy policy to go to your actual website. So if they go to Granary, we've got a privacy policy. One of the big things of GDPR was that now everybody has to have a clear privacy policy on their website. If you are watching this and you do not have a privacy policy on your website, please reach out to me as soon as possible, and I'll give you some hints and tips on that separately. But I'm going to keep these two boxes because I will use their email address for marketing purposes if they give me permission, and I will use their email. So this is what it will look like. So I click on save. I'm going to keep this here. This time when I bring it up in a Word page, this is what it looks like. Clear, clean, and nice. And that is it. That is all you need to do to get started on MailChimp. The next thing would be, okay, where am I going to put this? So you can put it on your social media page. So I would, if I was to go onto my Facebook, I would post out a Facebook post recommending people to click on here to sign up to our email list. I would put it on all of my guest welcome emails. I would put it on the signature of my email. I would put it in every form of communication that I have. So at the bottom of my email, in the signature section, it would be PS, sign up to our email list for exclusive news, competition, and features. I would put it in the welcome email, like I said, please sign up to our email list. You want to get as many possible people as you can away from booking.com, away from social media, and onto your email list. And I can't stress this enough. The reason why this is so important is that someone once said to me, don't build your house on someone else's land. And it's something that it's always stuck with me. And what that basically means is you've got to build your own list, your own customer data list. And one of the best ways of doing so is via email. So let me show you what I quickly mean with this. The Granary now, since we started doing this, we've got 229 recipients. Okay, we sent this email out recently to all of our guests. This is the actual email that you see here. Okay, and what I'm able to do is I can say, right, I've sent this to 229 people, and everybody can see this by going into reports. So as you can see, I'm in the reports tab now. The last two things I'm going to show you. With this email that I sent out, not only can I see who has opened it, but I can also see who has clicked on the report as well, which is amazing. So I can see out of 229 people, 113 people opened it, and there was 3 people that actually went in and they clicked on links. So let me just show you what I mean. And obviously for data protection, I'm going to have their email addresses blurred out. But there's 3 people here that I have seen that have clicked on the link. Now, what did the link say? The last few days we've been chatting and I hope it's got something from it, blah, blah, blah. As a thank you for staying on our list, we'd like to give you a little treat in return. If you book for our website in the next 72 hours, you can get an early check-in benefit compared to a book on booking.com or Expedia. Have a fantastic tune. So these 3 people here, and again, they're all blurred out, have gone into my email that I sent them and they've clicked on the link. So what do I know? I know that these 3 people are really interested in booking. So what I would do with this data is that I would then go to my free to book. I would see if they actually made a booking on the date that they clicked in. So the 4th of June. So I will go back and check. And I would check by searching for their email address or by searching for the actual date. And if they haven't booked on that date, it's just simple. I can do 1 or 2 things. Number 1, pick up the phone and give them a call and say, how you going? You know, just to let you know that the special offer that we sent to you expires in the next few hours. Would you like to book? straight to the point. And if you want more help and advice on sales, please search for the video I did with Jessica Lorimer. We did a full sales episode on how to get more bookings via using some very handy sales techniques. If you want the link to that, please get in touch. But also as well, if you're not happy with picking up the phone, you can send an email and just say, just to let you know, the offer expires very shortly. I can see that you're interested. Do you have any questions, dates, or can I get you booked in? So by doing this, and compared to just sending out a random email to 200 people who didn't know who's clicking or who's opening it, I'm able to filter down 229 people down to just those 3 right there and basically go, right, these are the ones that are really keen to book. And that could be the difference between getting an extra £1,000 worth of bookings or getting no extra bookings. The other final thing that I want to show you is how to actually create the email, okay? This is by far the most simplest part. So once you've got your list, you come back into campaigns, you're going to click on create campaign. It will show you this. Do you want to create a landing page, an ad, or an email? Obviously, we're going to do an email. You're going to click on that, call it whatever you want. Nobody can see this. You can call it the email I am going to send out to my guests to get as much direct bookings as possible. If you really wanted to. I'm just going to call it test. You've got different options up here, regular, automated, plain, A/B test. Just keep it simple. It's got a regular. The next section is going to be where you would put in your details, your data. You're going to click on here to say who is going to get the list. So click to list and you're going to choose them. When you click on personalize, it's going to bring in their first name. Who is sending from this campaign? Again, your data is already stored in there. The subject. So the subject is always important because if you go and have a look at your inbox now, it is full of boring subject headlines that nobody pays attention to. So you've got to make this stand out. One of the easiest ways of doing so is by putting an emoji in. So Mailchimp give you the chance to put emojis in, which is cool. Click on the little face, pick on one of them. So I would maybe do that. Depends on what type of email we're sending out. It could be, I have something for you. Or it could be, check this out. Or it could be, we have a competition. Or it could be something along those lines. But whatever clickbaity title you come up with, make sure the content in the email matches it. You can't do, I have something for you. And then when it comes to the actual content itself, you don't speak about any offer or anything, okay? The next section is where you choose your template. Mailchimp give you loads of really cool templates to choose from. 99.9% of it is all guff. The best one to choose is the basic simple text. So scroll down, click on simple text. Again, if I'm going too fast, pause, rewind, come back to it. We're in the final section now, and this is where you type up your email. First thing I would do, get rid of the top box. You want to make this look like a normal email as much as possible. So click on edit block and all of this comes up. I would get rid of that text, highlight it all, get rid of it. Now this is the cool thing. You're collecting the first name, and when you put a first name in an email, it personalizes it. So instead of looking like a generic sent to everybody, it makes it look like it's personalized to you, which is really, really effective. So all you're going to do here, to get the first name in the email, you're going to put hi, and then you've got all of these different tabs and options up here. You're looking for merge tags. So click on merge tags, scroll down, get first name, and it'll appear like this. All right. Go out and finish the rest of your email. Whatever you're going to be typing, whether it's to announce a competition, whether it's going to be announce a special offer, whether it's going to be telling about latest events. I'm going to do that. Thanks, Mark Simpson. Click save and close. If you want to change the font, my recommended font that I always like for emails is Tahoma, because it's easy on the eye, and size 14, but you can choose whatever you like. In the footer, and this is all important, again, you can get rid of most of this, get rid of the copyright. So drag, get rid. Keep the mailing listing because that's important. And for this section, keep in the unsubscribe, because again, part of GDPR, you've got to have a clear unsubscribe button from the list, but rewards and all of that can go. So this is what a standard email should look like. Before you even click the send button though, you need to go to see what it looks like. So on the top here, you've got help, preview, save, save and exit. Click on preview, enter preview mode. Now bearing in mind, I haven't got any data in this list yet, but if you do, and when you do, you can come in here, highlight this, and what it will do is where it says hi test name, that will change to the person's name that you're sending it to. Okay, so again, personalizing it. When everything is good, when everything is ready, click on save and close. You've got all of this, and in the top right hand corner, as long as it's ready to go, it will say send. And that is it. That is your first MailChimp email sent out. You can then go into campaigns and you can see the effectiveness, who's opening it, who's clicking on links. All right, I hope this video has helped. If you've got any further questions about anything, please get in touch, mark@boostly.co.uk, or message me on the Facebook. Thank you very much for watching, and let's go email.